Hello there, Qckslvrslash here, and today I have a video courtesy of GameCon DE driving the Tier 10 American battleship, the Montana, captained by none other than Steven Seagal, and he's playing a division along with a Moskva named, I'm thinking they're going for Climax 91, so that's how I'm going to pronounce them. Anyways, as you can see, Tears of the Desert Domination mode, and this is the one mode that I'll actually kind of tolerate on this map. Epicenter in standard battle, I find everyone just hides on their side of the rocks and does nothing the entire battle. In Domination, with the 3 caps, there's motivation to go elsewhere. So one of 2 things is bound to happen anytime you get on this map. One version is the team pretty much splits evenly and just goes to 2 separate caps. The other is an entire team groups up and pushes one way. So depending on what your team does really affects how you have to play the game. So because of the split, if they run into an equal split, it's just a gunfight. However, say the entire enemy team goes to C, then this team up in the north really just needs to focus on staying alive long enough for the team in the south to cap and basically meet up. And you'll see that is what's going to happen, is the enemy team is all going to the north, and the Iowa here running away, or, well, you know, sailing straight north, well, northeast, is kind of a giveaway. So GameCon lines them up, the shells are out, and now you just wait and see. Is he gonna hit them hard? And aside on Iowa, these are looking good. There's the Citadel, 25,000 damage in the first volley. Definitely a great way to start a game. And one thing I'm going to point out throughout this battle that GameCon does is they're always looking for the target that is flat to them. And it's something you definitely have to do in the Montana. You know, only having the 420s rather than the bigger guns, the Yamato, means you can't just punch through everything's bow. So to really make use of all 12 barrels, you'll want to hit something that's giving you its side, and there always reasonably is something on the enemy team that is, and you've just got to look around. And you'll see by the end of this game that GameCon's done a really solid job of doing that. So another volley off at the Iowa. Oh, it looks like these ones may not hit because the Iowa's got a bit of a turn on. One connect, well sorry, 2 connect, 1 ricochets, and 2,000 damage. So by now, it's pretty obvious what the enemy team is doing, and you have to start to react to that. So they're all going towards the north, and you've got to either catch these guys who are alone, you know, a couple cruisers and battleships are kind of strung off from the rest of the team. You got to work on them, but you also have to start making your way. And Climax and GameCon do a good job of A, forcing themselves north towards the enemy, but also going towards B. And you can see GameCon asking for the Udaloy to smoke Climax. The Moskva is a great ship if you can just sit and pester. It's got good bow armor, you know, surprisingly troll, but at these kind of ranges you do need smoke, and a big role of the destroyer is to help conceal the fleet and provide some detection, but mostly, you know, smoke the fleet, do early spotting on torpedoes, and, well, that Udaloy seems more or less interested in just doing his own thing. And my god, this Chapiev is stopping side on. Good night. Like, you just know what's happening with these shells. There's the Citadel, there's the kill, first blood. And, you know, as much as it sucks to drive out into the open, stopping side onto a battleship is going to get you killed a hell of a lot quicker than keeping your momentum and at least weaving. So, first kill of the game, and despite being down a few points because of the enemy team holding the B cap, GameCon's team is, they're hanging in there. That team kind of off to the east has kept themselves alive. Well, the Zhao just went down, but for the most part, they've been doing a good job of not getting caught out. You know, you can see they're all turned away. They just took out the Mogami that killed the Zhao, so they're doing their part. And you can see GameCon and Climax, they're both pushing, you know, on this kind of northeast heading towards B, through it towards the enemy team. And you see GameCon here really looking around, and the rudder just came over to the left. It's not going to be able to get that back in time to dodge all of these, but get away with one. And there's a Minotaur perfectly side on. The volley's off, and well, look how good those shells look. 1 Citadel, 2 pens, 20,665 damage. And really showing off what a bit of patience with your guns does. You know, there was a bit of a shot into Montana, but, you know, 22 kilometers-ish at the time. Not the best angle. You know, wait, you're gonna get shots at things that are better. Be patient with your guns. Lines the Minotaur up again, and these are actually looking really good pretty much the whole way in. And yet, only 2,700 damage. They seem to bracket him, 2 overpens and 1 ricochet. Unfortunate, but you can't win them all. Once again, GameCon just head on a swivel, you know, zooming in and out, looking around, sees an Iowa that is perfectly side on. You can see he zooms, moves up a bit, goes back down, trying to gauge his aim, and those are looking straight for the boilers. 2 Citadels and the kill, and you know, just showing off what some patience and good target selection will do.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes.
So at this point, one of the big threats, as you can hear Qckslvrslash announcing, is the torpedoes. There's 2 destroyers still. They haven't been seen in some time, although one... No, sorry, that's the nose of a battleship over there, who appeared to have run aground. So, once again, GameCon picked a target. Yeah, 4,300 damage, not great. There's the Minotaur again. Now, GameCon could shoot at him, but he's tagged the target, you know, asking friendlies to focus. There's a bunch of cruisers around. He's got a decent line on this Yamato, so he takes a shot on the battleship rather than finishing the Minotaur off. Now, reasonably, he could expect his team to finish that Minotaur. Unfortunately, the Minotaur just got their smoke back and went invisible. But if GameCon were to shoot at it, one thing that I feel a lot of captains have trouble with, they just double-click, they fire everything. Oh, I can kill them, fire everything. It's a 1,000 hit point Minotaur. Fire 1 turret. You know, see where the shells land. Fire the next turret. See where those shells land. Like, don't just shoot every single round because you can. Because you end up wasting, you know, however many rounds weren't needed to actually kill it. You know, if you're inside 10 kilometers, it's only a couple second flight time, so it's not a huge delay, and it potentially leaves you with extra guns to shoot other targets. You know, target prioritization and control of your guns is very critical, and that is an absolute wall of torpedoes. Oh my god, and even with all those ships eating them, looks like GameCon's still gonna take one. Rudder's hard over, but it's a big ship with a fat booty. Eats 9,000 damage. Fortunately, doesn't take a flood. So, that's always nice. And, back to the measure at hand. And you'll notice now, they've got a slight lead. They've got 1 extra kill, 2 of the caps, and they've kind of corralled the whole enemy team up into the north here. And for the enemy team, this is where things can become hard, because someone's got to make a push. They need the cap. They need kills. You know, as long as GameCon's team can kind of stay consolidated and focus, you know, 1 or 2 targets, depending on angles, it's going to go fairly well. But if they start to spread out and are no longer able to support one another, that's when the enemy team gets a chance to push in and start taking some ships out. So So GameCon focused on a side on Moskva there. The shells are looking decent so far. Is the aim going to prove to be true? And nope. One ricochet. Moskva's rudder got over fast enough that he didn't need any of the major shells. And it just proves the importance of don't drive in a straight line. So really the big thing right now is just focusing down a target, getting rid of something. Because that's how you start to gain an edge. As you get more and more guns in your advantage, as far as ships living versus dead, you can more quickly eliminate the targets on the other team. So my target right now would be that Montana, if I were GameCon. The Yamato is very side on, but that Montana is giving about the same angle, and, reasonably could be killed pretty quickly here. He chooses to fire at the Yamato and aims a little off. They land behind him, and, well, it's okay, it happens. But I'm just, discussing what I feel, is the priority. And to me, getting rid of ships is always the priority, because it removes sets of guns from the ocean. So right now, kind of a tough time to pick what to shoot at. The Yamato's turned nose in. That Montana looks to be pretty much stationary, so GameCon picks them, fires, and, well, they looked to be pretty good from the start. You can see that Montana still kicking alive, down to, what, 9,000 damage, 6,900, like, not a lot left. So these cruisers should be able to wipe them out. And with just over 7 minutes left, GameCon's up to 155,000 damage, which is very respectable. And, still has half his own hit points. So reasonably you can expect this game to end well over the 200,000 mark, as long as the gunnery works out. Solid hit there to Montana, 9,000 damage. And, well, up in the north, they lost one of the battleships, but the Bismarck's hanging on, should take out that enemy Bismarck. And hopefully between Climax and that Bismarck, they can get that enemy gearing and just remove the last of the kind of stealth vessels from the enemy team. Because one destroyer at the end of the match can wreak a lot of havoc. And, well, Moskva side on. He managed to turn before the shells got there last time. Will it work out this time? And it's not looking like he's paying any attention. 2 citadels, almost all of his health. He's gonna be dead pretty quick here. I can guarantee you that Climax and that Bismarck are now focusing the Moskva down. There goes the Moskva. So now it's just a gearing Montana and Yamato left. And things are starting to look pretty good now. And here's a good point where you can compare a situation where Montana really starts to get an advantage, in my mind, over the Yamato. And it's in close. Right now, at least until the next patch, the Yamato has a lot of difficulty firing at close targets. Anything under 5 kilometers straight ahead, its second turret can't hit. It can't decline enough over turret 1. And then side on, the Yamato's armor just can't keep these shells out. So when you get in close into a duel like this, you'd rather have more guns. And triple citadel for almost 42,000 damage. One of the Qckslvrslash torpedoes finishes the Yamato off, and that puts GameCon up to 243,000 damage. And now he's just got to dodge these friendly Peds. So all that's left is a gearing that's no longer spotted, and that Montana, who is turning to give him the side. So this very well could be it if these shells land true. And they don't. 11,000 damage is still a meaty hit, but not enough for the kill. The secondaries start going wild, and, well, this one's going to count down any second, well, until Climax died there. It was going to be over any second, just on points, but I guess now GameCon gets 1 or 2 extra volleys here. And I suspect this will be the last one. You can see him being patient, trying to wait for a really good opportunity to shoot, rather than wasting it, but it's clear he's going to stay nose on, and that's going to be the game. And that one all came together in the end for GameCon DE. 322,000 credits, 5,000 experience, Confederate, First Blood, High Caliber, and 260,000 damage, most of which were in single volleys. That wasn't him shooting the same target over and over. That was picking the target that's side on, hitting them hard. 2,522 XP, definitely good. And you can see his division mate coming in right in second. And you'd be amazed how often this seems to happen with divisions where they're almost paired up as a group. And if you're playing well, it works for everyone. And as I was saying, like, look at his damage. And when you think back to that game that was just played, this wasn't, you know, him shooting at a bow on target, you know, just slowly building up damage. Like, he'd find the thing side on, hit it hard, move on to the next target. And, you know, even with a non-premium account, he managed to make money on that game. Just about 30,000 credits that he gets to take home, and 5,000 experience for Steven Seagal. Anyways, thank you GameCon DE for sending this in. To anyone else who would like to send a video in, Qckslvrslash@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. And as always, I'm Qckslvrslash. I'll have another one for you guys later.